Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to our viewers around the world, and welcome to the second day of the Biopharma CEO Investor Forum, co-hosted by the Biopharma Sustainability Forum Roundtable and CECP, Chief Executives for Corporate Purpose. Hello, I'm Daryl Brewster. I'm the Chief Executive of CECP and delighted to join you for the second day of the CEO Investor Forum. Day one was terrific, as we heard from CEOs of Moderna, Pfizer, J&J, Merck, and others, and day two promises to be just as terrific, although on a shorter schedule. We appreciate you all participating. We're also thankful for our sponsors who make this event possible. The folks at Calvert, Cohen, and Deloitte, thank you for your participation, and thanks to all of those in the media, at the BRT and CECP for all of your contributions. For those who don't know, CECP is a network of well over 230 of the world's leading companies, focused on helping companies advance their purpose, collaborate on critical issues, and we heard a lot about that yesterday, and also to rewire the capital markets from simply about short-term gains to really about long-term sustainable value. Next slide. And that's what the CEO Investor Forum is all about. This is our 9th CEO Investor Forum. We have a world-class board of issuers, investors, and intermediaries, and co-chaired by Alex Gorsky, CEO and chairman of J&J, from whom we heard yesterday, and Bill McNabb, former chairman and CEO of Vanguard, from whom we'll hear in just a few seconds. We have had so far, as I mentioned, 8 CEO Investor Forums. We're now up to 3 after yesterday, up to close to $3 trillion of market cap who have shared their long-term plans to investors representing nearly 30 trillion in assets under management, and our online audience continues to grow. We also have produced executive-ready research that you'll see in the chat room on why companies should share long-term plans, what should be included, how to pull those together, and the value of doing so. So we do appreciate all the work, and in fact, just yesterday, released a new report on the biopharma industry focused on forward disclosures and the state of the play in that area. So do take advantage of those research areas here. Next. We also have launched the CEO Investor Forum to help companies on the journey to addressing ESG issues and navigating the waters here around sustainability. And we invite others to join and learn more by going to cecp.co. It is now my honor to introduce Bill McNabb. Bill is the former chairman and CEO of Vanguard, the world's second largest assets under management. Bill is also the vice chairman of CECP and one of the co-chairs of the CECP's CEO Investor Forum. Bill.
Thank you, Daryl. It's great to be with everybody virtually. I look forward to next year, hopefully being able to do these forums in person. You know, I think it's important as we enter the second day of our conference to talk a little bit about how these investor forums actually came to be. And some of you may recall, we launched our first one nearly 4 years ago. And it was a result of a lot of conversations between the investment community and the corporate community about what's missing or what was missing in the current dialogue. And what we believed very strongly was there was a lot of focus on short-term results and reporting and so forth and progress against short-term goals, but there really wasn't the long-term contextual framework that many investors wanted to see from their portfolio companies. And so we had this idea, what if we had investor forums where we brought in CEOs to talk about their long-term plans and their long-term aspirations for their respective companies, and the audience was composed of the leading investors from around the world. And we've now run dozens of these, and I think it's really changed the dialogue dramatically. And from my perspective as a long-term investor and a proponent of long-term investing, I think it's been a very positive development. When you look at the evolution of what's going on in the marketplace today and all the tremendous work that's being done around sustainability. In a sense, sustainability and long-termism are synonymous with each other. And they really, this idea of thinking long-term plays perfectly into this concept of sustainability that has become so prevalent in every boardroom, every investor shop, and so forth. So we're thrilled to be here, kicking off our second day. Yesterday we heard some fantastic long-term plans, by a number of leading companies. This is the first time, as you heard yesterday, that we've actually run a sector-specific forum, and we chose biopharma, obviously, given everything that's gone on in the pandemic. But I actually think there's a really important message that, in a sense, we're serendipitous to be able to present, and that's that the long term is actually made up of a lot of short terms. And if you think about that concept, short-term adaptability is incredibly important to any business's success. And no sector of the economy has evidenced that more so than the biopharma sector. And the pivot that a number of leading companies made in order to get COVID testing in place, to get vaccine development accelerated to a level heretofore thought impossible. It's really a remarkable example of innovation, adaptability, and the ability to do all that still with the thought of, what's the long term going to look like. And again, you heard a lot of that from some of the companies yesterday. Today we have a couple more very exciting long-term plans that are going to be presented. And then very interestingly, we're going to have a vaccine panel with Sanjay Gupta and talk a lot about vaccine hesitancy and related issues and so forth. And we believe very strongly that panel, along with the long-term plans that you've heard, should give people a clearer picture of the way forward. So we're really excited about this. We'll look forward to your feedback and your input as we think about what future forums might look like. And I would be incredibly remiss if I didn't thank our sponsors for helping put this on. And we've been very fortunate to work with Calvert, Cowen, and Deloitte. And your sponsorship and your complete support is really, really noteworthy. And we can't thank you enough. We're incredibly grateful at CECP. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the day, and look forward to, as I said at the very beginning, the next time we do this, we do it in person.
Thanks, Bill. Thank you, Bill, for your comments. Thank you also for your support of the CEO Investor Forum. And thank you for your inspiration. Bill's inspiration represents our mission, is that every listed company should share its long-term sustainable business plan. And that's what we're doing here with the biopharma area. And ultimately, we believe that all listed companies, starting with the biggest, should do so as we move forward. We now ask you to join our next session. We'll be hearing from the CEO of GSK, Emma Walmsley, who will share her long-term plan. It's the second time she's done that with CEO Investor Forum. So we'll have you join that. You'll be able to push the button to join that next session. And we look forward to a productive day here with the biopharma industry as they share their long-term sustainable business plans. Thanks all, and on to the next session.